Good morning and welcome to People and Projects, a community affairs program of this station. I'm Mark Weinstein, Executive Director of Public Relations at Cedarville University, your host for today's program. Joining me today is Jon Greenwood, a former Executive Vice President with Huntington Bank, who is going to share information about a new leadership initiative at Cedarville University. So let's go to my conversation with Jon Greenwood on today's People and Projects. Jon, thanks for joining me this week on People and Projects. And I want our audience to get to know who you are, because leadership's important for you. You were in executive leadership at Huntington Bank. So tell us about your professional career.
Sure. Well, first of all, thanks, Mark. I was in banking for 39 years when I graduated from Cedarville. I finished my last 30 at Huntington Bank, and probably my last 7 to 8 years, I was executive vice president, director of retail banking. So 1,000 branches, pushing 7,000 people. Pretty big organizational structure, but I finished out and retired at the end of July of 23. So leadership was big for me. I ran a big organizational structure.
Right. So why is leadership important for you?
Well, I've seen the downfalls of bad leadership, to be quite frank with you.
Yeah.
So why is leadership important to me? Well, take a look around in society today. We have tons of leadership books. We got all kinds of leadership stuff out there, right?
Right.
But look at the political environment. Look at the business environment, education, church leaders. We have a void in leadership.
Yeah.
And so we have a chance, I think, at Cedarville with this program to step into the void. And so I'm passionate about this. I was passionate about it in my career in banking. I see a huge need in the marketplace for what we're doing. And so when I look at leadership, I'll just give you an example, because a lot of business owners are all about data, right?
Absolutely.
So we have so many ill-equipped leaders. When you think about ill-equipped leaders, I'm not talking about bad people.
No.
Maybe they were promoted too soon. They had to out of desperation, all kinds of reasons, right?
Right.
But ill-equipped leaders create tons of turnover within organizations and disengaged colleagues. So when you think about the workforce, how many people are disengaged from their company and their work, the numbers are huge.
Yeah.
If I look at my old organization, Mark, let's just say 6,500 FTE, 20% turnover was not a bad number in retail banking. But at 20% turnover, 1,300 people annually, you take your cost of turnover is roughly 25%, maybe an average salary of $50,000. My turnover cost was north of $16 million annually. That's a real number.
That's a huge number.
That doesn't account for loss of productivity and revenue, customer service impact, cultural impact. Why is leadership so important? Those are the things that drove me every day and why I'm so passionate about leadership. Yeah. And we have a chance to go make a difference, and that's what I'm going to do.
So let's talk about that. So as I mentioned in the introduction, Cedarville is beginning a new leadership initiative called CULead. What is the purpose of this new leadership program?
Yeah, so when I joined in January of this year, talking with Dr. Heyman, the Dean of the Business School, and Dr. White, I put together a strategy, what I thought would be a holistic strategy, right? It's kind of a three-pronged approach. One is, let's really take a look at the student experience around leadership development. We're making changes to that. It'll take effect this fall in the business school. Now we'll go across the university spectrum later in the school year this year.
So for starters, it's solely for business students.
We're starting there to kind of almost pilot it to learn what we kind of get the wrinkles worked out.
The bugs out.
Then we're going to take it across the whole university in the spring semester across other disciplines. That's kind of number one. Number two is we're working through, we're going to have the Impact Conference in the fall. So working on conferences, maybe a leadership conference, launching speaker series where we're bringing CEOs to campus, executives to campus, exposing them to the student body and the university as a whole. We're also going to probably launch a podcast sometime this year. And kind of the last piece of that strategy, the third leg of that stool, is really about how can we go into the marketplace as a university and meet the needs as it relates to leadership development. As I stated earlier, I think there's a huge opportunity for us to come alongside business owners, church leaders, educators, you name it, and help them with their teams around personal leadership development. I lived it for 39 years. I understand the real world as it relates to leadership. We're not going to be some philosophy of leadership, theories of leadership. This is going to be real life stuff that we're going to bring to the marketplace that helps them develop their people, that drives performance higher within that organization,
Sure.
drives culture development, coaching, drives overall performance at a higher level within the organizations. What I found is people want their companies and their bosses to care about them.
Absolutely.
And take it to come alongside of them and help develop them, right? So this is an opportunity for us to lock arms with the marketplace and say, we can help you with that. You may not have the internal resources, but we can come alongside and bring those resources to bear with you to help develop your people.
So when you go into the marketplace, you're talking to business, nonprofits, profit organizations, whoever, right?
Yep.
When will that leg of the stool take place?
Absolutely. We're getting ready to launch that.
Okay.
We're going to have our first class in September, later this September in the Dayton Springfield market.
Okay.
Then we're going to go to Columbus late October. And we now have a website up. We have our digital marketing pieces developed. We're going to be marketing pretty hard those first classes. And so, boy, we really want to make a difference and come alongside. So we're going to launch September, October in this regional footprint.
Sure. Is this in person or is this virtual?
This is in person. And so this is a chance for folks to send their colleagues to us for about a day and a half to 2 days. And we're going to immerse them in some assessments work where we're going to maybe put them through DISC training, EQ assessments, things like that really helps them understand, how did God wire you, right?
Okay.
And so we're going to help them with cultural development. How do you get the culture built within an organization that will drive performance, coaching, all those things that are kind of in the trenches type development tools.
Right.
We're going to work on all that for about a day and a half, 2 days. And so that'll be in person. And we'll send them back. Situational leadership. Some folks, they call it saboteur mindsets. Help them understand what's that little voice in your head a lot that sabotages you in the workplace.
Yeah.
Identifying that. How do you overcome those things? Those are things we're going to go through in this workshop to help them be better, so they can go back and be better in their employment.
So this is roughly like a 2-day intensive program.
Absolutely.
Is there a cost for this?
There is, and we want to be flexible with that cost structure. We have not established that just yet. When I'm talking with different organizations and folks, we want to be sensitive to their financial situation. And so we're going to early on be pretty flexible with our pricing structure, but then we'll eventually land in maybe more of a structured pricing structure as we move forward.
Is that because you want to start building a groundswell of interest before you really?
Yeah. So we want to create the disciples out there around this program.
Right.
And so, churches may not be able to afford what a business can afford.
Correct.
Right? Nonprofits, same thing. So we want to make sure we tailor the pricing that's appropriate for the organization. We don't want to shut them out just on a price point. We want to engage with them and say, listen, we'll work with you based on what you can afford here, and how can we come alongside and help?
Yeah. I'm Mark Weinstein, and I'm talking with Jon Greenwood about CULead. That's just launching now at Cedarville University. So, John, when you talked a little bit ago about the speaker series, which I'm really interested in that, what kind of speakers are you hoping to attract to the campus?
Yeah, so we launched the first speaker series in the spring of this past school year. John Beckett, who's the CEO of the Beckett Corporation, it's an international business, and he's a great Christian guy. He came to campus in the spring. We're going to launch. We'll have 4 more speaker series in this next school year.
Okay.
And we want to be able to also live stream those out to the business community and church community and educational community. So as we bring people to campus for these speaker series, we're going to live stream those out so that people can sit there in their place of work and actually observe it and watch the speaker series live.
So again, I assume because it's with Cedarville University, this is a faith-based, this is a Christian program.
Yeah. So let's be clear. This is biblical leadership. It's not going to be, we're not going to sit there in this class and be walking through the Bible. These are time-tested, biblical proven leadership principles. These are the same things I used at Huntington Bank.
Yeah.
We just didn't call them, biblical principles, but a lot of this material is time-tested stuff that I used over time at Huntington and other places. And so I'm working with a gentleman, Steve Black, who does this for a living.
Yeah.
Steve's going to be working with myself, and we're going to be delivering this material. I'm excited about it. It's going to be really impactful.
So we have a couple of minutes left in the program. When you think that, where you are right now, you're ready to launch, and then you think a year or 2 or 3 years down the road where you're going to be, what gets you excited?
What gets me excited is the opportunity for us to take this not just regionally, but nationally. I believe that we have a chance to do something that's different. We're not building a program where we're going to have a PhD in leadership. We may over time.
Sure.
But this is about how do we go to the marketplace and make an impact for the business community, church community, education community, and be viewed as a value-added resource as a university to the community. Yeah. I think we're going to start regionally, but what gets me excited is about the opportunity for us to be doing things across the whole nation and impacting,
right,
clear across the country. I think that we have that opportunity.
Yeah, you do. So how can people listening and watching this program learn more about CULead?
Yes, so go to cedarville.edu/CULead. So CULead, and it'll take you straight to the website. All the information's there. If you have interest, fill out that form. We'll get in touch with you. Or you can just call and contact myself through the university. Again, we want to talk to as many folks as we can and figure out how we can help you.
This just seems like a great opportunity because you said at the very beginning, we have a leadership void. There's a lot of leadership books, but we have a leadership void in our country. And this seems like a great way to solve some of those problems.
No question. I just think that we have a chance to go make a difference and help people be better.
That's today's People and Projects program. I want to thank you for spending the past several minutes with me. Please come back next time when I have another guest from Cedarville University who will discuss their life and ministry. Cedarville University is an evangelical Christian institution that offers undergraduate and graduate residential and online programs across the arts, sciences, and professional fields. With more than 6,300 students, it ranks among Ohio's largest private universities and is recognized by the Wall Street Journal as being among the nation's top 3 evangelical universities. To learn more about Cedarville, visit cedarville.edu. That's cedarville.edu. I'm Mark Weinstein. Thanks for listening. Have a blessed day.